So this right here is the new Akko PC75B Plus. So it's one of their newer keyboards. It's actually a fully pre-built keyboard and it's priced around 500 ringgit. I think it's really nice for what is included. So this is right here. This is the multi-mods version and it is the ASA black and silver keycaps. Honestly, it looks pretty nice. I really like it, and of course it has the black knob right here, and this keyboard is also hot swap. And the version that I have right here is actually the jelly white loop version. So this is the hand loop version, not the pre-loop factory ones. These are actually hand looped by some Akko employees, and I'm really excited to try out this new version right here. And actually on the back of the box, we can see the outline of the keyboard with this 75% compact layout, and you can see the knob right here, and there are all the shortcuts and functions you can access with the function key right here. So we can see that you can connect up to 3 Bluetooth devices, 1 2.4 GHz devices, and 1 wired mode. And these are all the shortcuts. So you have email, search, and your music controls. Really nice that it's all built into the keyboard. Now let's unbox it. So it's a pretty big box. Let me just remove everything inside here. Okay, so inside the box there's 3 main parts to it. You get this little black box right here. Of course the keyboard itself with this really nice protective plastic layer, and of course in this PE foam. And of course you get the Akko user manual right here. And in this user manual, you actually get a lot of things. You can pause if you want to read. But of course, you get your technical specs, your hotkeys, your command controls for Windows and Mac. So this is Mac compatible. Backlight settings, Bluetooth features, and everything. Let me just flip through this for you guys to take a look at it. So these are the Windows functions and Mac functions. As you guys can see, it comes in Chinese and English. So in the technical specifications, we can actually see that the battery capacity is 3000 milliamps and it has N key rollover, which is really nice for gaming and fast typing. Now let's check out this box right here. So the first thing you get in that little black box is actually this. This is a Type A to Type C cable. It is gold plated and it does look pretty good. It's just a standard cable for you to charge it or use it wiredly, and it does come with this Akko like cable management velcro strap right here. Other than that, you also get these 2 purple accessories right here. This is the 2.4 GHz dongle. It is in purple, and you can see that there's the Akko branding on the back, and you get the plus branding on the front. And of course you get this really nice keycap puller with the Akko branding as well, both in purple. I'm not sure why, but with the 2.4 GHz dongle pack like this, it means that it doesn't fit on the keyboard, so you have to keep this safe and don't lose it. And another really nice thing included is actually these keycaps right here. These are some extra accent keycaps for the keyboard. So the keyboard comes with ASA profile keycaps, which are PPT double shot. So they come in black and grey, and this is the white one, so you can change up the accent colors if you want to make your keyboard look and feel different. One thing I want to note before we actually take a look at the keyboard is this little plastic cover right here. It doesn't seem like much, but it does work really well to protect your keyboard from dust and particles. So after a long day of use, you just have to put this onto the keyboard like this, and it'll protect the keyboard from the elements. Really nice for keeping dust out again. And I really like that Akko actually branded it, and it looks pretty good and solid. So now let's take a look at the keyboard itself. So first impression so far, this keyboard does feel really nice in hand. Although it's a fully plastic build, it does have a really solid weight to it, and I really like this matte black plastic going all around it. So on the front right here, we can see again the layout 75% with the knob, and this is the ASA double shot PPT keycaps from Akko. They feel pretty solid and the legends are really sharp, and they also include the white one if you want to change them out like these accent keycaps. This is the side profile of the keyboard. As you guys can see, there is a slight incline in the keyboard design to the knob right here, and you can see the ASA profile keycaps looking really nice. And this is the back. Actually, one thing I noticed is that the Type-C connector right here is actually not in the middle of the keyboard. It's kind of like off-centered. Not sure why they did that with that design. It does look a little bit off to me, but it's pretty good. And again, it's this matte black plastic. This is the side profile of the other side. So if you don't like this height, you can actually adjust it with the feet right here. So this feet has 2 height. This is the higher setting, and then there's a one with the little feet right there for a lower setting if you like this one better. And on the front, there's no branding whatsoever. Again, it's just full matte black plastic. And on the back, this is what it looks like. You have your Akko sticker in the middle, your 4 non-slip feet, again the 2 adjustable feet for height, and you get a little switcher right here. So this little switch right here allows you to switch from USB mode to Windows mode and Mac mode really easily just by toggling it like this. And just switch it on, and you guys can see that there is some RGB shine through on the side of the keyboard because this is kind of like a translucent black case. Really nice. This is what the back of the case looks like. And this is the front. The RGB looks pretty good to me. It doesn't shine very brightly because of these keycaps, But honestly, with this keyboard and the price, I can't really complain. It looks pretty good with the RGB on it. So these again are the Akko ASA profile keycaps. These are double shot PBT keycaps. They look really awesome and the legends are really sharp. Quality wise, they are quite nice. I really like it, but some people do not like this profile and I understand that. But they are also really nice because they include some extra keycaps in the box, like the white accent ones instead of this black and grey one already on the keyboard. And as for the switches in this keyboard, I actually chose the jelly white hand loop version. So this is one of the newest switches that Akko has provided. It's one of their hand looping services, so you can actually choose to have your switches factory loop or hand loop. So again, these are individually looped by some Akko employees. Throughout my usage, there are some inconsistencies, but they do feel pretty good off the box. And on my keyboard, there was actually one quality control error where you can see this switch has actually a feet bent, but it was okay. I bent it back and put it back in place. One really interesting thing about this keyboard is actually the stabilizers. So these are some plate mounted stabilizers and they are purple in color, and I believe these are one of the new Akko stabilizers that Akko makes themselves. They look pretty standard and they feel pretty good. They do come factory loop, and I believe that the feet are actually flat so you don't have to clip them. From my usage, they do sound pretty good, but when the sound test later on, you guys can hear that there's actually a little bit of ticking from these stabilizers. Now let's actually dismantle this keyboard and see what is included and what is the design of this keyboard. So the first thing you actually have to do is to remove the knob, but it's not like your traditional knobs out there. This knob actually comes in two parts, which is a really weird design. So all you have to do is just plug off the top of this knob and then you can start prying. Because there's actually no screws holding this keyboard in place, you actually have to slowly pry out the keyboard because it actually uses clips and feet. So you have to slowly pry out each corner and then you can just open up the whole top frame from the keyboard. This is what the keyboard looks like. It's a little bit of a weird design in my opinion. It just clips together with this top part and bottom part, and there's only one screw holding the whole thing in place. And after removing the top plate, you can now only remove the second part of the knob. I don't know why they designed this knob so weirdly, so I don't think you can actually replace this knob. It basically comes in these two parts, the top shell and this transparent part inside the knob. So after removing everything, we can now just lift up the plate and disconnect the battery from the PCB right here. So on the bottom of the case, we can actually see that there is some silicone fill-in. This is one of the first silicone fill-in I've seen from Akko, and they do look pretty good. It does fit in the case really nicely and it's pretty thick for sound dampening. One thing you have to be careful about is these four little silicone or like rubber feet or dampeners on the side. I think they act like gaskets. They basically help the plate sit properly on the case, and you better not lose it because it's really small and they fall out really easily. So this is what the plate looks like. I did not remove all of the switches and stabilizers because I was lazy and I just pried it open. I do not recommend that you do this. It is a little bit of a weird material. This is the first time I'm seeing like a full plastic plate, but it does work well, it does flex, and I think it feels pretty solid in hand. So we can actually see that Akko provides some plate foam in between the plate and the PCB. So this, I believe, it feels like Poron foam and it does fit. It's really customly cut out for this keyboard. So this is what the PCB looks like. It has this kind of white silicone dampener film on the top of it. I think this acts like PE foam to help dampen the typing sound, and honestly it looks really nice and awesome because it's actually custom cut, and you can actually see it's 5-pin hot swap with north facing RGB LEDs. And this is what the PCB on the bottom looks like. It's basically black and it uses TTC hot swap sockets on the bottom side of this PCB. So reassembling the case is actually pretty easy, but I did a step wrong. Remember to put in the bottom part of this translucent knob first before putting in the top part. If not, the plate won't actually snap back into place. But reassembling is really easy. It's just the reverse of how you disassemble the keyboard. Now with everything covered, let's move on to the typing sound test to see how this keyboard actually sounds like. So my final thoughts on this keyboard after using it for a few days. It's a pretty well priced keyboard at around 500 ringgit, I would say. You'll get a lot of things included, especially with the stabilizers and keycaps, and also the switches, which are already looped, are pretty nice. One downside I could see is that if you actually want to customize this keyboard, it's actually really weird to disassemble. Just like as I mentioned before, the knob with no screws used, you have to slowly pry open, and some of the feet may break if you are more of a rough person. But overall build quality is really nice, and from the typing sound test you can hear that it's actually pretty smooth with these loop switches, but there's a little bit of ticking with these stabilizers by Akko. So overall, if you're looking for a more of a budget 75% keyboard with a knob with a pretty solid build quality, but you don't want to customize it yourself, you just want a pretty good pre-built keyboard, definitely go for this Akko PC75B Plus. So yeah, that is it for this video guys. Leave a like on this video if you liked it, dislike this video if you didn't like it, subscribe to my channel if you haven't. I have even more keyboard content coming very soon, and as always, thanks for watching. Goodbye guys.